What's going on, people? I'm here in New York. I hate driving in New York. I really do. The roads are not the best. Believe me. And there's always traffic, as you can see down the road. Anyway, what's going on? Let me put the windows down so I can get some breeze, some of the cool autumn breeze. Okay, shout out to my subscribers, new and old. Let's get it. Now, what I want to talk about today is investing, right? You know, we talk about a lot of the problems. You know, we talk about a whole lot of social commentary, but let's talk about some possible solutions. Now, I had a solution. I remember it was like 3 years ago. I attempted to send an email to Tariq Nasheed about it. I didn't tell him what it was exactly, but I tried to get in contact with him once. But, you know, he keeps saying he has a lot of emails, a lot of people emailing him, so he's not going to get to everybody. Yeah, this was like, about 3-4 years ago. I think this was like in 2015, I think. Yeah. Anyway, Tariq Nasheed, he's cool. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, you know, but I like to sometimes stick to what can help, you know. But one of the solutions I wanted to bring it across to him. I didn't get to do so. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it here. Reason being because sometimes we talk too much on social media. We let everybody know our plans, stuff like that. But anyway, for you guys out there, I'd like for you guys to pay attention to what just happened in Canada this week. They legalized marijuana for recreational use. And the stocks are rising. Now, what I would do if I were you guys, or let me not say that, I'm going to advise some of you guys to download the app Robinhood. I think that's the name, Robinhood. Now, what that app allows you to do is it allows you to trade from your phone. You can buy stock, sell stock. They give you daily updates. It's not like once per day. They update you probably probably every time something major happens. If the stock rises, they'll update you. If it goes down, they'll update you. But it's something to have on your phone. You can invest, I don't know, $200, $300, $400, $500, $1,000, whatever you can afford. But it's a good way to learn about the stock market. It's another way to flip your money, you know. It's another way to do something apart from listening to these mumble YouTubers who just talk about what they read in books and debate, you know, wasting time. You know, try to let your bank account grow. And then that way, because as you guys should know by now, that an economic collapse is coming, you know. It happens to every great empire. So you can gather your money, buy land somewhere here in America or in the so-called third world countries that a lot of people like to shit on. But you guys could invest money that way, watch your money grow, and then reinvest your money in land. Land is very important. Land is the basis of power. Without land, you have no power, right? The wars that have been fought over the centuries have been not only about religion, but about land. If you read the Bible, the Old Testament, I'm imploring to you people, if you read the Bible, read the Old Testament. Don't read too much of the New Testament. The Old Testament is very important. You learn a lot. In the Old Testament, when God was, sending the Israelites to go war with other people, it was about land. It was about what? Land. Land. When the US sent their troops over there to Afghanistan, Iraq, these places, the war is not just about oil, it's about land. Because technically the oil is underneath the land. So it's about land. So invest your money in stock, invest your money in, businesses. It's easier these days to be an entrepreneur because of social media. Because now you have direct connect to the public, to the consumers. You can start selling stuff on eBay, Amazon. You have little apps you can sell stuff on. You can sell stuff on Craigslist, OfferUp, Let It Go, 5 Miles. All of these places. It's really not hard to be an entrepreneur. Make some extra cash. But when you make that extra cash, try your best to invest in land. Try to acquire some land. Do your research. Make sure the land isn't, on some, some oil grounds or whatever. They have those lands over there in, what's it called? Wichita? I don't remember. Over there where they have those Native Americans protesting over their land because they want to run pipelines through the land. Try to research the land so you don't buy land where the government is going to want to use in future times. But just reinvest in land. You need land. And one of the reasons why I'll tell you to reinvest in land is this. Especially for travel. You guys need to start traveling. Travel to the so-called third world countries. Because what a lot of people don't understand is they hear the term third world countries and they just look down on these countries because they're like, it's beneath us. We live in a first world country. We're better than them. Yada, 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 yada. But for me, as a person who travels, I'll tell you this. Everywhere has its ups and its downs. Advantages, disadvantages. The first world countries, they have advantages financially. Right? Their disadvantages is where it regards to natural resources, which is why unknown to a lot of people who travel, for countries like America and these places, they go to third world countries and they rape these third world countries. They use the army, to bully people in these third world countries through wars and whatever. You guys know, take their oil, their whatever they have, their natural resources. Or what they do is they'll take land and resources through crafty contracts, or a lot of these so-called third world countries, they have coons who sell out these countries, like what they do in Africa. In order to understand all of this, just watch what the Chinese are doing over there in China. In Africa. They're on a land grab mission. They're trying to acquire land through crafty techniques, being real cunning and sly. Essentially what they're doing is they're following the patterns of white people, the colonizers, the first colonizers, or the white colonizers. I shouldn't say the first colonizers. But everything is a land grab, right? And the advantages that the third world countries have is that it has natural resources that first world countries don't have. The so-called third world countries, they're deficient in what you'll call finances. That's their deficiency in finances. monetarily. They're deficient that way. Because these first world countries, or so-called first world countries, they go there, they cripple the first world countries go there and cripple the third world countries' finances. With a whole lot of methods and stuff like that, the IMF, that kind of thing, and destroy these countries financially. But these countries are rich in natural resources. So investing in some of these lands down there in these so-called third world countries is wise. Because in these so-called third world countries, what you have there is okay, I'll give you an example. When I first came to America, the thing that really surprised me was that when I was driving around, I would see a lot of trees, but they have no fruits on them. No fruits. I wasn't used to that, because where I'm from, in the Caribbean, you have a plethora of trees, and they have fruits, a whole bunch of fruits. You could be driving and just stop and pick a fruit. Now, granted, some of these fruit trees, they're on land that's owned by people, but people are not really mean like that in the Caribbean. So you'll have neighbors who will offer you fruits. You like mangoes and whatever. They might have too much fruits hanging on the trees. They'll knock on your door and offer you some. Or you'll ask, hey, can I pick some mangoes off your tree? And they'll be like, yeah, fine. As long as you don't wreck their yards, fine. So it was a real culture shock for me. Well, I shouldn't say culture shock. It was really astonishing for me when I came and I saw all these trees, no fruits. So investing in land back in the Caribbean or some of these so-called third world countries, it's wise for a lot of you guys. Because there you can plant food. Because remember, an economic collapse is coming. All great empires go through it. Rome, Babylon, Egypt, Greece, Persia, all of them. America will not be exempted, okay? So, with automation coming in and all of that, you're going to need land. You're going to need land so you can plant your own food. Create your own irrigation systems, stuff like that. And in America, the climate isn't really conducive, to farming like that. You have to be on, be in certain time zones in America. Like California, a lot of the crops are grown in California, Idaho, those places. It's hard to plant stuff in New York. It's like a lot of Caribbean folks I know, when they come here, they acquire, houses here. In their backyard, they'll try to plant little stuff in the summertime, before the fall comes in and the winter. But back in the Caribbean, we don't have winter, so all year round you can just be farming and reaping. You know what I mean? So what's really crippling the Caribbean is the finances, because they borrow a lot of money from the first world countries. It's intricate. It's a whole lot of stuff to read about. But like I said, the advantages is that you have land. You can plant your own food, so you really don't have to depend on the system like that, opposed to America and Canada and these first world countries. And the first world countries, like I said, you have the advantages of acquiring money. So you can acquire the money here and then flip that money into owning land. So let that be a plan for you guys. Everywhere has its advantages and disadvantages. First world countries has the advantage of acquiring paper, and a lot of it, and quickly too. The advantages of the third world country is you can acquire land for cheap, and you don't have to pay a lot of taxes, and you can plant food, so you don't have to depend on the system. Keep that in mind. See you guys later.